Hiring and developing key players on your team is critical for the success of any team. The most important hire that we have when you start to grow is your administrative or assistant, or what I call the client care coordinator. So how you build your real estate team, how you train and develop your admin absolutely matters. In our previous video on how to build a real estate team by hiring the right people, we talked about how to identify the gaps in your business, how to create powerful job listings with AI, and also how to find the right people that will actually stay with you. Stay tuned to the very end of this video because I'm going to give you the training and the onboarding process that you're going to need. And I'm going to give you access to what we call AMP, our Admin Mastery Program. And so watch till the very end, and then I'm going to give you the link to give you access to not just a little bit valuable program, but one of the most valuable training programs we've ever created. So the importance of the hiring the assistant is understanding that this is your first hire. A lot of people don't know who to hire or when to hire, but when we look at their business, here's what we realize. I can't get you to the place in your business as a team leader where you're making 6 or even 7 figures if you spend any of your day doing $20 or $30 an hour tasks. What we pay an admin or what we pay a client care coordinator is very much relevant to what the market is in your specific market. On our job boards like Wise Hire and Indeed and others, they have recommendations and research that shows what you would pay for somebody in that role. And so it's important that you do that. Now you've run the right ads, you've used your AI to create your job description and great ads, and you're starting to get people coming in. You've brought them in for a group interview. You've done a skills assessment. I like doing a working interview with admins where they actually come in and work next to your current people or next to you, so you can see they have the skills to do the job. And now you make an offer. You've offered them the position and now they start. This is where we fail. Everything that team leaders do well is in their head and it's in their heart, and they don't have the ability to actually train and develop this great admin. And so there's a high level of frustration in, I want to be trained, show me what to do, and I don't understand why these just can't figure it out and do it like I do it. Well, you got to get it out of your head and out of your heart and put it into a system so that you can train and develop them. And that's why we created the program called AMP. It's Admin Mastery. It's over 66 video training sessions on how to train an admin to be a true master. So let me take you through a little bit of what we're going to train them on in the AMP program. There are 7 sections, count them, 7 sections in this program to help you create operational excellence. I want you to think about what it means to have operational excellence. That means that anything you do 3 times, we create a system for it. It means that we standardize our systems and processes, and that the person coming into your business has the ability to do this at a really high level. One of the things that we teach you in the very beginning of the program is to create an operations manual. We give you the outline of the operations manual, everything that belongs in the operations manual, and we teach you how to make Zoom videos. So whether you're entering client data in the MLS, or whether you're creating a flyer or reading a job description or setting up an action plan for a transaction, we want you to turn a video on Zoom, record your keystrokes, and talk through the process of when you're training and developing. This all goes into the operations manual, which gives the admin the ability to go back and watch it anytime they want to remember what you taught them. And so when you teach the concept, you teach it once, it goes in the operations manual, and then they can go back and watch the video. If they still have questions, you become valuable to them. The next thing that we do in the AMP system is we go through and we evaluate their CRM. And we look at, what are you doing with your CRM? How much is the client worth? What do you do before, during, and after the transaction? And then we teach your admin how to make sure that your CRM is set up correctly so you can identify and find people at every level of interaction, whether they're a client, a past client, a lead, whatever they are to you, you need to know so that you can find them in your database. The third section is lead management. How do we set your systems up in your business so that we track leads and we convert a higher percent of the leads? Section 4 is transaction management. Transaction management is the most important things that we do, and there are a lot of companies out there that provide transaction management platforms, but they still require the intelligence of a human to make sure that we're running through the process and communicating, coordinating with that buyer or seller. You have to know your contract documents. You have to track it the right way. You have to automate your transactions. You have to understand how to add a listing to your CRM and how to add a closing to your CRM and make sure that those activities happen systematically. Section 5 of the AMP program is, and I love to say that my client care coordinator is my keeper of the culture. They're the ones that make sure that you are intentional about living and instilling the core values, not just as team leaders, but as team members, and the way we communicate with our clients. We teach them how to understand the my pleasure attitude, and it's making sure that the client never feels put out or that they're doing you a favor, that it's always a pleasure to serve them. and that we have effective ongoing communication. I've always said that you can't over communicate with a client, and you have to make sure that you understand their preferred method of communication, put it in the CRM, and however that client prefers to be communicated with. That's the job of the client care coordinator, to make sure that we do that. The sixth section, which I think is one of the most important things that we focus on when we're building, growing, and onboarding our team members, is the time management. Time management is a bit of a myth. We don't speed up or slow down time, but we actually have a perfect week schedule where we use time blocking to make sure that we use our time efficiently and effectively throughout the day. We use tools such as the Daily Success Habits Tracker, Agile, and the My Perfect Week Planner to create a time management system for the client care coordinator to be able to be effective and know that they're getting the right things done at the end of the day. Section 7 that we teach during the AMP program is the marketing. It's what needs to be automated from a marketing perspective so that we keep leads coming in, that we keep our clients for life, that we do the right things with our sphere of influence, our geographic farm. If we're working for sell by owners or open houses or direct mail or social media, or we have a YouTube channel, all of these marketing activities need to be done systematically in the business if you as a team leader want to be able to grow. Well, when I name these activities or I name these sections in AMP, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, I could never do all of those things. The reality is you do them already, but you do them lightly, and you do them when you think about it. And what we want to do when we onboard and train and develop a client care coordinator is we want to systematize that entire process. And it all starts with what's called the AMP scorecard. So we've now hired, we've brought them in, we're teaching them how to build the operations manual, we're going through each of the 7 sections of AMP, and we start by going through and doing what's called an AMP scorecard. The AMP scorecard is a tool or a system that I'm also going to give you right here in this video, at the end of this video, that allows you to evaluate all of those systems that are currently running in your business. Now I want you to understand that when you evaluate everything, whether it's prospecting, how you do appointments, listings taken, sales, client care coordinator, we evaluate your CRM, your back-end system, we evaluate all these things, we give you a list, all of those systems, it's okay if you score low, because Workman has a process and a training program that will help you implement and execute on the areas where you score low. So go through the AMP scorecard, go through in great detail, and just be honest about where you are with your CRM, with your business management and accounting, with your online or virtual real estate mastery, with all of those activities and action plans that need to be done in your business. And once you've gone through and evaluated all those things, then systematically your assistant can go through and we create a priority list and we start working on the highest priority. This oftentimes is a perfect place for you to reach out to your coach and work on every quarter reevaluating and doing another AMP scorecard and seeing where you are. Our focus in hiring an admin is to focus on progress, not perfection. And over time, all of your systems get put into place, and that gives your business the ability to scale. As you think through the hiring, the onboarding using the AMP program, Admin Mastery, the training program, the 66 sessions, using the AMP scorecard, you know what? Rather than me tell you about it, how about I just give it to you? Go right here to the bottom of this video. What I want to do is I want you to click on 30 days free access to the AMP scorecard and 30-day free access to the AMP training program. You're going to give it all to you. You don't have to buy anything, just put it in, and I want you to go through that first 30 days. If you need more than that, there will be a process where you can subscribe and continue to have access to that training program. AMP is what is needed if you want to crank your business to the next level. At every level of business, all of your systems, all of your processes need to be broken and rebuilt, so it gives you the ability to scale to the next level. That's the value of AMP, and that's the purpose of going through the onboarding, the training, and the development of a client care coordinator.